Yangzhou-style meatballs, Jinling roast duck, delicate tofu strips, and shrimp noodles. If food is an essential part of your Shanghai experience, this Huaiyang restaurant, hidden inside one of the Bund's historic buildings, is definitely a place worth discovering.
Hi guys, it's Lori from OohMyGuide. Welcome back! Today's journey is all about food. We're heading to a restaurant to see what kind of Chinese flavors this place have made to make it stand out in one of the most competitive dining areas of Shanghai. Here we go!
Located along Fuzhou Road near the Bund, this historic complex was built in 1914 and once served as a municipal council building during Shanghai's former international settlement. Today, the restored space blends historic architecture with modern city life, where old Shanghai quietly meets the present. Tucked away on the eastern side of the complex, the restaurant sits quietly above the historic streets below. A short elevator ride later, we arrive at Yidao, a refined dining space where Huaiyang cuisine meets the elegance of Chinese tea culture. While the staff prepared selection of the restaurant's signature dishes based on our preferences, we started with a pot of traditional Chinese tea, slowly easing into the rhythm of the meal.
It feels very smooth and calming, almost relaxing the moment I drink it. The floral aroma lingers really nicely afterwards too. Very gentle, I don't think it's overpowering at all.
This tea creates a calm and refined beginning to the meal. This is a classic sweet and sour pork rib dish, prepared here with a Huaiyang-style plum sauce. Instead of being overly sticky or heavy, this version is lighter, more balanced, with a natural fruity acidity.
Wow. This is actually really good. The first thing notice is the gentle sweetness, and then the plum kicks in. And there's more going on. It's not just sweet and sour. There is a subtle savory note underneath, so it doesn't feel flat. Everything's very well balanced. Just gonna suck it all in.
From there, the meal gradually moves into something softer and more delicate.
Alright, let's try this one. This is much softer than I've expected. The texture is really delicate, somewhere between a fishbowl and a traditional lion's head. You immediately get that natural seafood flavor sweetness from the fish and the crab roe. Let's have another bite.
This Yangzhou-style fish and pork meatball with crab roe soup is a modern interpretation of the classic Huaiyang lion's head dish. Made primarily with fish paste and crab roe with a small amount of pork added for richness and texture. The meatball is much lighter and more delicate than the traditional version.
Let's try the soup. The broth is actually really light. It doesn't dominate the dish. It just brings out the flavor of the meatball itself.
This modern Yangzhou-style meatball offers a lighter and more refined take on a traditional Huaiyang classic. After the delicate seafood notes of the previous dish, the meal begins to take on a richer and more aromatic direction.
Alright, now let's see the roasted duck. And let's pour on off some of their secret recipe all the way through. Wow, looks already pretty good to me. Let's try the duck. Wow, that crunch is amazing. And the skin is super crispy, then thin and light. And then underneath, the duck meat is actually very juicy. Crispy skin outside and tender meat inside. Let's have one and dip in some pepper sauce. Just a little bit. Wow. The sauce makes it even deeper. You get a little bit of sweetness and a bit of savoriness, and then the warm, peppery finish.
This black pepper Jinling roast duck is prepared using traditional roasting techniques with a modern twist. The duck is marinated with black pepper salt and aged Huaiyang for hours before being air dried to tighten the skin and slowly roasted until golden brown. Right before serving, hot oil is poured over the skin to create an extra crispy finish. Then it's paired with the house-made black pepper sauce.
I think it feels like a traditional Chinese roast duck, but the black pepper gives a more modern, almost international flavor profile. I'm gonna have some more. I don't know about you, but it's me.
After the richness of the roast duck, the meal returns to one of Huaiyang cuisine's most delicate expressions. Yangzhou dried tofu strips is a classic Huaiyang dish, known for its incredible knife work and precision. With meatballs, shrimp, mushrooms, and bamboo shoots adding layers of flavor, the dish may look simple, but it's deeply refined.
And I like the textures here. The bamboo shoots give a bit of a crunch, and the mushrooms are soft, and the eggs just kind of smooths everything out. Let's eat the meatballs. Oh, the meatballs. They add a bit of a more depth, a more richness. Everything feels really balanced. Nothing's too strong, but everything works so well together.
After the quiet refinement of Huaiyang cuisine, the meal takes on a much bolder and more energetic rhythm. This stir-fried beef flank tendon is a classic example of Chinese wok cooking at a high heat. With its intense wok aroma, layered textures, and balance of rich beef flavor, fresh herbs, and fragrant chili heat, this dish captures the bold and lively spirit of Cantonese-style stir-fry cooking.
It's a kind of dish where everything comes layers. Crispy, tender, chewy, with a slow chili heat in the background. So good.
And if you prefer a milder flavor, you can always ask the restaurant to make it without chili, or pair it with something lighter, like the stir-fried river shrimp with green peas. A classic Jiangnan-style combination that celebrates freshness and natural sweetness.
Let's pour down a little bit of vinegar. Yep, just a bit. There's actually a very local way to enjoy the dish. Using a spoon works much better for the shrimp here. Just adding a tiny bit of vinegar can really bring out the sweetness.
Instead of relying on heavy seasoning, the dish focuses on the delicate flavor of river shrimp, paired with sweet green peas and a light wok stir-fry technique that keeps everything clean and refined. After the freshness and sweetness of the river shrimp, the warmth of the shrimp roll noodles feels especially comforting. This Yangchun noodles with shrimp roll is a perfect example of how simplicity can become something deeply refined in Chinese cuisine.
I think this is one of the dishes that looks very simple at first, but the more you eat, the more depths you discover.
This bowl of shrimp roll noodles highlights the beauty and restrained seasoning and carefully balanced broth, where subtlety becomes the true luxury. By this point, the whole meal starts to feel softer and more comforting, easing naturally into dessert.
Let's have a try. The rice balls are super soft and chewy, and the whole dessert feels really warm and comforting.
This glutinous rice balls and sweet fermented rice wine is a warm traditional Jiangnan-style dessert made with fermented sweet rice broth and soft glutinous rice balls.
Wow, look at that! The brown sugar filling is literally flowing out. The outside is really crispy and fragrant. You get the toasted pastry flavor first, together with the aroma from the sesame seeds. And then the filling hits afterwards. It's super smooth, warm, and almost caramel-like. The sweetness is rich but not harsh. It has this deep down brown sugar flavor that feels very comforting. Need a sip of tea to smooth everything out.
This dessert combines toasted pastry aroma, deep caramel sweetness, and comforting texture into a classic yet deeply satisfying Chinese-style treat. And after a long, slow meal like this, stepping out onto the terrace almost feels like a part of the experience itself. Hidden above the historic streets of the Bund, the terrace offers a quieter side of Shanghai. The city still moves below you, but up here, everything feels slower and more relaxed.
If you're on for today's Shanghai dining style, check the booking details below. This restaurant also offers different sets of menus for different group sizes and dining details. This is a place where you can relax, enjoy, and spend time in. This is Lori from OohMyGuide. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you somewhere else in Shanghai.